What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Spurs have been beaten 4-2. I'm just outside at Anfield here. Instant match reaction. Another one of those, well, it looked like, to be honest, was going to be another one of those defeats where we looked abject, open like the Red Sea, couldn't create a chance for Toffee. It looked like it was going to be a dreadful performance, and it was for about 70 minutes. And yet, we did mount some sort of a comeback. We brought on Richarlison, we brought on Maddison, we brought on Lo Celso, and all of a sudden we got our act together. We started playing some football, we started getting the ball on the ground, we started opening up Liverpool a bit, and we, got some pride back in our performance. But unfortunately, wasn't really enough to get a result. It was a bit too little, too late, just like the Brighton game. To be honest, it was very, very similar to that game, I would say, where it looked like we were going to basically succumb to what would have been a very, very embarrassing defeat. It was basically a case of how many at some points today, which is a little surprise given the quality of Liverpool, how attacking they are, how difficult they are to deal with, how bad we've been defending in recent weeks, and how abject we've looked on the ball. And all those features were there today. The lineup was a surprise. Bentancur, Sarr and Bissouma all starting in the middle. I was wondering where the creativity was going to come from, and there was none, essentially. Kulusevski, Son and Johnson starting in the front three. Emerson retaining his place at left back. And all of those decisions in the starting lineup did come back to bite us, I felt, during the game. I felt like whenever we did win the ball back and we pressed, I think that the idea was to be very, very aggressive, just get three very combative, aggressive midfielders in there, and the idea was press them very intensely, press them quickly, play the ball forward to our front three, and that's how we're going to create our chances. However, whenever we did win the ball in good areas, which happened a few times, there was just no creativity, no cutting edge to open up Liverpool, and the move ended up always getting broken down, or the move ended up going out wide to Kulusevski or Johnson, who were both playing on their wrong side. They both kept cutting inside because they didn't want to go. Neither of them wanted to go on the outside, and the move kept getting broken down. Son was getting bullied by Van Dijk and Quansah. Again, not a massive surprise. And the midfield, as much as they were good doing some good stuff off the ball, on the ball, they were getting caught a few times. Their passing game wasn't really there, didn't really have any cutting edge, and it was pretty much only a matter of time before we were going to get caught, and we did. They very clearly targeted Emerson Royale at left back. Every time they got the ball, they just shunted it out to Salah, and in the first 15 minutes he could have a hat-trick with the chances he had. That was a clear avenue where Liverpool were targeting, and it was a avenue they were able to exploit time and time again. We're lucky only Salah had one goal in that first half. It could have been a lot more. To be fair, I thought we defended quite well, albeit definitely second best, and definitely Liverpool had chances. I would say we it could have easily been, if we would have got it to half time 1-0 and given us an opportunity to regroup in the second half, that would have been a good opportunity. Unfortunately, Robertson scored right on the edge of the first half, and once that second goal goes in, you're thinking it's going to be very, very difficult to get back in this game. No half-time changes, which was a big disappointment, and I think again we started the second half as we finished the first half, lacklustre, on the back foot, no creativity, and unfortunately we got punished for it. Gakpo's header, Harvey Elliott with an absolute howitzer, and it was only a matter of time before those goals were going to go in the way we were playing, and it took till 4-0 for Ange to make his changes, which was very, very frustrating because the game was already gone, and the changes did actually impact the game positively, but it's hard to know if it was positive because Liverpool just stopped playing and it was easy for them to give us the game, or was it genuinely the changes that allowed us to start opening up Liverpool and play some football, because Maddison came on, he all of a sudden started linking up with Son. One change I really liked, I want to give Ange credit for, Ollie Skip came on at left back, and all of a sudden Salah wasn't having the easiest times. Ollie Skip was actually able to get on the ball and have a bit of quality. I thought he had a bit of aggression. He wasn't getting absolutely roasted by Salah every time. It wasn't perfect, but it was a decent solution. Maybe that's something we should do going forward. I suggested it, play a midfielder there before the game. And I thought we really upped our game once Lo Celso came on. All of a sudden we had Lo Celso and Maddison on the pitch with Bissouma. And we looked really creative, playing quick football, fast football, getting the ball forward, opening up Liverpool time and time again. We were getting Richarlison in behind. We were getting Son, we were getting all sorts of joy down the left-hand side. Maddison and Lo Celso are both butting around the centre, being really creative. We got 2 goals back. Obviously, Brennan Johnson with a classic ball across the face of goals for Richarlison, who flicks it in. And Richarlison then sets up Son to make it 4-2. And 4-2 with, I think it was with 15 minutes to go, or 10 minutes to go, you're thinking, maybe, you never know. And we definitely had chances to make it 4-3, and a few of them as well. Maddison had a few flash across the face of goal. Richarlison forced Alisson into a few saves. There was one flash point where Richarlison gets in behind. Alisson makes a save, it's looping into the goal, and Brennan Johnson's about to head it in. He puts his head where it hurts, but unfortunately the Liverpool defender gets there first. There was a shout for a penalty with the high foot, but VAR waved it away, and that was the closest we came to 4-3. And we definitely had chances to get back in the game, so we ended it with a bit of pride, with a bit of fight, and you can be happy about that, but it shouldn't take Spurs to be 4-0 down for that to happen. So I do think there's there we go. I do think there's something to be said about that. This is not the first time this has happened. Happened against Arsenal, took us 3-0 down to show a bit of fight and get back in the game. Brighton 4-0 down, took us till then to show a bit of fight and get some goals. And it happened all too frequent. The Fulham game, Newcastle game, Chelsea game, and now this game, where the game is over and we've given ourselves way too much to do before we even start making a change. So Ange has a lot to ask for there, but maybe he's found some sort of solution. It's something which I suggested going into this game: play the attacking midfielders together, because we've seen even today was a perfect example of it. We're so open anyway. We don't look like creating anything with the defensive midfielders together in the centre. So why not play Maddison with the Lo Celso and with Kulusevski in the centre, and at least we can look good on the ball and we can start creating something. And obviously that is what I was calling for. We looked a lot better when we did that today. So maybe we should do that going forward for the last few games. But look, the season's nearly over. Obviously there was a slight opportunity today to put pressure on Aston Villa after they lost away at Brighton, but with us losing, obviously that's another game gone, and we know that top 4 is not going to happen now. So Europa League next season, we just got to make sure we get those 2 wins against Burnley and Sheffield United to make sure Newcastle don't catch us. So that's the one thing we've got to be worried about. But I'm not as angry today as I was maybe in the other games, maybe because we scored some goals in the other games we didn't. Come on, you Spurs. Maybe I should be, because again, it took us till 4-0 down to play, and that should never be acceptable. You shouldn't be waiting to, you're losing until the game's gone, essentially, to give it a good go. And I know we could have surmounted an incredible comeback, but it shouldn't have taken that Spurs to go 4-0 down for that situation to be. So ultimately frustrating. I'll go in it deeper tomorrow with Ben, who's in the studio. So I've got to say on this one, disappointing again to have lost. Not entirely unexpected, to be honest, but at least not unexpected performance. Did score some goals, but was always going to be too much at 4-0 down. We move on. We have Burnley away at home next week, so let's hope we can get a win on the board. It's 4 defeats on the road, so maybe a bit of pressure mounting on Ange. I don't think so. I do think he's going to be in a trouble next season. I don't think there's any worry about that, but does need to start getting some points. He doesn't want to end the season on a row string of defeats. So 4th defeat in a row, not great, but we move. See you all very soon. Like, subscribe, comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.